It's your tech moment. Risky supply chain business. Technology professionals have much to do protecting their enterprises from new threats every day. Even when we use best practices, there are vulnerabilities introduced by new untested hardware and software, employee devices, and unreported vulnerabilities in the attack surface. Moreover, state actor and for-hire hacking is big business, with ransomware and long-term data compromises on the rise. This week, Bruce Schneier reported that AT&T employees were bribed into participating with a bad actor to unlock smartphones and install malware on consumer devices. End users are muling malware right across the border and into your company's systems. The schemers cost AT&T a pretty penny. Call center employees from the state of Washington have already pled guilty, and the man behind this large operation has been extradited from Hong Kong. Free antivirus apps on Android devices often can't detect malware and can actually create security vulnerabilities that negate high-end corporate security. Technologists should remember to remind employees that they must be part of the security solution by avoiding unapproved software. The old chestnut, if it's free, you are the product, immediately comes to mind. State Farm Insurance joins the growing list of companies reporting customer data exposure. It appears a credential stuffing attack revealed user details. Tripwire adds that Reddit, Dailymotion, and Dunkin' Donuts have all been victims of such attacks and warns users to use two-factor authentication and a virtual private network. ZDNet reported another unsecured MongoDB revealed private information from a Spanish brothel in yet another data spill. Kink dating app 3Fun and Jewish dating app JCrush demonstrated once again that old-fashioned dating is more private, and 23 million Cafe Press user credentials were stolen. Now join the bloating Have I Been Pwned database. Our operating system world continues to morph as Microsoft pushes us into client-server again with virtual desktops in the cloud. Free and open source desktop alternatives are struggling to stay front and center. This week, after a 25-year run, Linux Journal closed down, stating financial woes. Has Microsoft captured all of their rivals by absorption? And are we entering a new era of proprietary lockdown? With Apple monitoring handsets for unapproved batteries, consumers need to ask if they're owning or simply leasing equipment. If users own the equipment, then they have the right to repair it at the dealer and elsewhere. WhatsApp security is in the limelight again as the Vegas Black Hat conference reveals a bug verified in proof of concept code by Check Point that allows a man-in-the-middle attack to put words in your mouth. We've seen this type of message interception in email before, but now technologists need to examine chain of custody on all communications to ensure that each endpoint is private and its host system is secured from intrusion. Voice, fax, and texting systems are often overlooked in the security landscape. It's time to prioritize scrutiny of those essential services. Even printers need periodic review. Boeing suffers a nasty surprise as attendees at the Nevada Black Hat conference this week were treated to a program on how to hijack a 787. It seems the code for running a jetliner was left lying around on the internet. It's not all bad news coming from Las Vegas, though. Tools to help IT spot holes across a network are getting more sophisticated, too. It's wise to think like a hacker when projecting how to defend against them. Instagram and its parent Facebook have kicked an ad partner for collecting user data in a situation that echoes the Cambridge Analytica fiasco. When will Zuckerberg secure things first rather than apologizing later? Silicon Valley neighbor Twitter disabled location tagging on their mobile app a few weeks back, claiming users didn't use the feature. But now we know that, oops, an ad partner was slurping up user location details all along. Unreal. Microsoft is finally killing off VB Script across all platforms. The antique scripting language has been a constant security woe for years, having been developed for early Windows document and job automation. This is great news for security and bad news for malware writers who love it so much. There's an interesting article over at The Verge today about free speech, 8chan, and regulation, with Cloudflare deplatforming the Wild West board based on nebulous government claims that a gunman posted a manifesto there anonymously. We really need to ask, what responsibility do we as technologists have to make moral judgments on our customers and users? Platforms are protected because they're agnostic to data passing through their system. An example here is a phone company is not responsible for the death threat a caller makes, but they may be compelled to provide evidence as a non-invested third party in the case. When service operators become editors, though, they show ownership of the content and lose that protection. Big tech big brothers are going to have to decide if they are utilities that enjoy ISP protections or if they're going to be legally liable for every byte of content they host. Moral judgments are a legal minefield best avoided altogether. Within the terms of service, platforms have the obligation to allow users the freedom to be just, moral people, or awful, law-breaking bigots. Then let the communities and jurisdictional authorities sort it out in the real world. Meanwhile, we must educate the masses to understand that they are being monitored and to call attention to government privacy risks like facial recognition. What is the federal government doing to mitigate attacks on our electronic infrastructure? For starters, they're relaxing requirements for white hat hackers who want to join the NSA, saying that past marijuana use is no longer a barrier to employment, despite no change in federal drug law. Getting a creative, diverse team together really is a strength. Anytime technologists focus on widespread best practices only, we become part of a broad attack vector. Standards are a start point, not an end state. We need many voices and skill sets to create more secure environments. Our hiring practices should adapt to recognize we must embrace a culture of agility in a rapidly changing digital landscape. Please click through to find the articles that this story is based on. Help me out by thumbing this up or give it claps or telling people or sharing it on social media, please. I would appreciate it. Politics may be married to technology and big media, but sometimes individuals can make a difference. Get the Dirty Deeds Playbook today for just $2.99 on Kindle or for a few dollars more in paperback. This satirical field manual uses fools and fanatics to sow chaos in American elections. Tools and techniques, observations, and deception I've seen in the election process over these past few years. Support this news aggregation service by checking out my website at yourtechmoment.com today. Links there show all the places you can listen or watch for free. Also, find out about my other projects, subscribe to my newsletter and alerts, or buy books, advertise, and support this project with some merchandise purchases. Have a great day.